Well, boom, just jumps right in, just like that. Boom. Good evening, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the show. Sorry, we're a little late. 3 minutes, not bad considering how screwed up things were. So that's cool. I can take that. I'll consider that a win.
Really?
I mean, depending on how the rest of the show goes, you never know, right? Well, get a drink, man. Get a bottle of water. You know, it's all good. But hello.
Hey.
Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Party people. What's happening? Hey, smiley face. Good afternoon on a cool rainy Saturday in Seattle. Actually, it was the same here, other than the cool part. It was raining all day, which was like some hardcore rain. Nothing like down south. Those guys are, they're having sucky lives. Mm-hmm. Australia checking in. What's up? Christian, what's happening? Good evening. Yeehaw. That's what I like. All right, why is this? There we go. Let's do it that way. Howdy, fellas. Howdy. Hello from Vegas. Did you get a chance to watch Mike's? Not yet. Yeah, I mean it's been a long week. Happy Father's Day tomorrow.
Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Afternoon.
Do you know the Mobile Solutions right now is running a special for Father's Day? So don't wait. Go to Mobile Solutions. If you go to the Clean Wire Club on Facebook, it's a link in there. Click it and buy yourself whatever you want.
I mean, I feel that's the best way to get the best Father's Day presents.
100%.
Just buy what you want.
Yes.
I mean, it's nice, but the reality is
It is really nice?
Yeah.
Sure?
Made it back at 4 a.m. this morning, hoping to get some to see my daughter soon.
You want water?
No.
Sure.
Waiting on her mom. I hope you get to see her too. 24 hours. Yeah. 14 hours from Illinois straight through. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Good job. And fade to black. And it's over. I mean, as much we have continuation of Haley's birthday extravaganzas tonight. We're going to go see what is it? Inside Out 2? Yeah, Inside Out 2 is on plans for tonight. So
very nice.
It'll be interesting. G Dave from the Twin Cities, 66 overcast right now. Brace it for Florida type weather tomorrow, 90 with dew point.
You want water, bro?
No, I'm good. Hi guys. Hi, how are you?
Hey, what's up, David?
Hi. How do you know what RCA in which green, purple, white, gray? All right, so I'm thinking I'm going to answer this the way you want, but I'll say, all right, so white, or what we commonly refer to as 1, is driver's left front. So the speaker right in front of you is 1, which is also white. Gray is 2, which is right front. So left front, right front, 1, 2, gray, white, gray. And then you have green is behind white, which is 3, and purple is behind gray, which is 4. So the right side are the red side, and the left side are the white side. And how you remember that is right and red both start with R. I know I just blew your mind on that one, didn't I?
No, I didn't even know.
You weren't even listening.
No.
But right and red, that's how you remember. So that's also an easy way. But there you go. That's all the stuff that's just burned into my brain after all these years. Get it out, man. Hi from Orlando.
Hey.
What's up, everyone? Fresno with a high of 97. Hello from B-Town.
Jimbo.
Marty Adams checking it, bro.
Man?
He's had the worst month.
Really? What?
Yeah, just health-wise, he's having the worst month. My heart goes out to you. I hope you're feeling better. Hope your wife is doing good. Just been a bad month, But hey, if you make it through, there's always next month.
Correct.
That hopefully is better.
For sure.
But best speaker set pair with the kicker 200.4. So really, all of them are pretty good. I mean, I think as long as you keep it somewhere in the realistically 350 to 400 range, be somewhere good. If you're looking for dedicated speakers to choose from, some of our most popular ones are like the Focal Integration Series are very popular. Any one of the Morel Maximo or Tempo Ultras are really nice.
Maximo HE.
Max.
Like
well, that's all the yeah. So there again, we're gonna keep going.
You can still do the Kicker KS.
Yes, I was gonna say the Kicker KS would be a nice one. It's, Alpine would be like the S. No, you could probably do R. I would do R because S. No, just do R. Always do R. But anyways, in that price range that all those have kind of fallen into, which is usually around the 300 price range, is pretty nice. Kenwood has the KFC 174s or whatever their components are, which are really nice. Or you could do if you have a 6x9 and a 2 or 3, the 6902, 6903s. Those are really nice too. So happy birthday, dudes. Oh yeah, there you go. Hey Dean. Hi. I was trying to download the EduCar app from the App Store and it states it's no longer available in country or region. I'm in Alabama. Would you have a second source for it? Unfortunately, no. I don't know what's going on with it. We are going to talk to Ken here soon. So we'll find out what's going on. I don't know if he wanted to keep it going. I don't know, but we'll find out for you. If you're looking for pink noise, there again, if you have an iPhone and you're looking for pink noise, buy the My Discs pink noise from iTunes. If you don't have Apple Music, it is the best platform in which to get pink noise. Somebody just took the time to do a test and test all of the things, which did a really nice job. And it turns out, go crazy, don't be a hater, but iTunes still has the best version for pink noise. So it's either that or buy Andy's tool and get Andy's pink noise, because Andy's pink noise is pretty dope from Audio Frog. You might even have it as a download on his site. You can also download pink noise from Kicker's site to like Dropbox or something like that.
Some of these manufacturers they have.
But
you want to put you a sponsor?
Oh yeah, we should. I'll get to that. They don't have them though. All right, so who do I want to be first? Let's bring this guy up because we haven't talked to. Hey, it's summertime, as we can all tell from the heat that is currently blazing down on us, in the weather and the fun and the slop and the goo.
Oh my God!
So it's time to get out there and have fun with some motorsports. That means it's time to make those things loud. And if you're interested in making yours loud and you want the amplifier to do it, check out our good friends at arcaudio.com with the Moto series.
720.
Well, that's the amplifier. The 720 is what you see here. It's a compact, high-powered, conformally coded amplifier that's designed to give you hours of listening pleasure, but they also have a full line of Moto speakers that are made for the outdoors and just getting loud. So make sure, or you should, head over to arcaudio.com and check out the Moto series. And, of course, if you want the best in DSP, we'll just say Blackbird. Give them a twofer. All right, guys, moving on. All right, so Fernando, if you want to jump through, do you know a website that sells backup camera adapters to retain the factory camera? metraonline.com. All right, so here's the thing you have to understand. Depending on the car that you're going to do, most manufacturers, if they're making a smart harness to go into the car, usually retains the backup camera. So like PAC, Metra, iData. If you're doing a car where there is a factory camera, it's part of the harness, the smart harness that you have to buy will usually retain it. Now, some of the older ones don't, and those are where you're going to head over to Metra because they usually make the cables that allow you to go in. So like Nissans, Toyotas, and stuff like that, where it's just like, I have no idea. But those are it. So if you're going to buy if you have a modern car, like within the last 10 years, and iData is making the harness for it, more than likely it's going to retain the backup camera through the harness that they're going to provide for you. PAC, they'll all do the same. Otherwise, Metro Online. Okay, I repeated myself, so I hate to read that. Hide current comment. Why is the roller just... All right, I'm going to do this. Dave says, would the Ford Sony factory sound system handle upgraded speakers without an aftermarket amp? Would it handle it? Sure. Would it sound good? Maybe not. The reality is when anytime you're integrating into a factory system like that, it's usually a closed system, meaning they don't want you to go out and buy some other speakers and put them in there because they're tuned differently, they perform differently. No two speakers sound the same. So you could get lucky and roll the dice and buy a set of speakers that you put in, and they sound better than what you had. But chances are good they're not going to, because you're probably going to buy a much higher end speaker than that system was ever designed to handle. The nice thing is the Ford Sony system is easy enough to update as far as adding in an amplifier. PAC makes the A to B interface that allows you to plug right in, or I'm sorry, that's a Sony interface. So PAC makes the Sony interface. iData allows you to swap out the radio with the MFT1 kit. Allows you to put a 7-inch screen, take out the 8-inch, put a 7-inch behind it. We just did one of those today, as a matter of fact. It's fantastic. So there is a lot you can do to that, but just there again, replacing the speakers usually isn't the problem with those systems. It's the limitations that the factory amplifier or the factory radio are putting on those speakers, because that's where the sound is coming from. The speakers are just reactive to what they're being fed. So if you're feeding them crap, Sony amplified system, they're just going to sound like crap. So replacing them isn't going to make it any better. You need to replace what's feeding them. Okay, there we go.
All right.
You ready? Okay. Hoping to stop in and see the shop on my way to Naples in 2 weeks. Will you guys be there on Friday or Saturday? Okay, so on June 30th, the whole week after that, we will not be here. We'll be out of town. We're closing the shop for vacation. So from the 30th till whatever, the whole store closes for a week, week and a half. We'll be gone. But if you're going to be here any other time, before the 30th or after, or whatever, the 10th or whatever it is, then yeah, we'll be here. But 4th of July week, we're heading out on a big old jet airliner.
Cruising.
Yeah. El Fernandez, thank you.
Hey, man.
Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for everything. You're the best, man. Love you. Okay. I didn't do anything. Okay, using Audio Frog GB60s and a GB10 up front. Looking to go 3-way GB25s. Go with the GB25s. Amp would only give them 45 watts each, which is best. Arc Audio RS 3-inch. Yeah. Okay, I would still go with the GB25. The thing you have to keep in mind is that even though the RS3 is an amazing speaker, the sound signature of the GBs, as if this was the other way, would do the same thing. Like for like, okay? Meaning when these speakers are designed, when Andy sounded these speakers, that GB25 was designed to fit smoothly between the tweeter and the 6.5 to create a wonderful sound. The RS was not. The RS was designed to fit smoothly between its tweeter and its corresponding mid-bass. So you're going to need a lot of DSP work. 45 watts doesn't matter. 45 watts, just, I don't know. Is it loud enough for you is really what that means. Speakers don't care how much power you give them. You're just making them make noise. So you're the one that cares about the wattage, because if it's not loud enough, then you need a bigger amp. But it doesn't care at all. It just doesn't want you to blow it. So it'll sound good at 5 watts. It'll sound great at 50 watts. It's just a matter of how loud will it be and will you be happy? That's always the question when it comes to wattage. But go with the GB25. Dean, nice tweeter, but need to be 3/4 of an inch. What would you recommend? I don't have space. Nice tweeter. Okay. 3/4 of an inch. Like, so you need a small tweeter? Oof.
3/4?
Yeah, instead of like a 1-inch dome, I'm assuming he wants a 3/4 inch dome. And then sound good.
I think the new, what is that?
I don't know.
Mosconi? No.
Those are huge.
No, the new ones.
Yeah, who? You hurt yourself.
I don't remember what's the model number, man.
What is the brand? The brand would help.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know that line.
Glade. Sorry, Glade.
The factory fit.
Yes. Glade, they make a really tiny tweeter.
Okay. So it's the Glade factory fit.
Glade, yes.
Yeah. All right. So
that will be the tiniest. It's
a silk soft dome too. So maybe head over and go to Gladen.com and check out some of the smaller Gladen speakers. Those might fit what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tiny tweeters are tough.
Yeah.
I was thinking tiny wise. I was thinking like DJ, because DJ has that little tiny tweeter. Like that one's, but I don't.
It's not like Audison, the same thing. It makes
no, they don't make anything that small. No, the DJ was microscopic. I mean, I don't know how small you need. I mean, like physically, like
what, 3/4?
Tiny. I mean, you know, when you're looking at like most tweeters or you know, like an R-type tweeters, you can strip that down to get really small too. Because like the R tweeter, when you strip all that crap off, those a lot of times clip right into a factory tweeter location, which I think is what the Gladen is trying to do. So
right.
There you go. Give it a try, man. That's what we got. Okay. How to control chimes in a 2021 Chevy Colorado after amping the front stage. See conflicting information on best way, DSP, etc. Planning to replace stock speakers with stock radio, no Bose or amp. All right, so there's a couple different things you can do for this. DSP, for one, a good DSP that has the capability to do shelf or notch or parametric would be fantastic, because what you have to do is you have to lower the volume of a said frequency. Now, if it's a chime that goes do as opposed to just do, that's a whole nother problem, because now you have a group of frequencies that are loud. For that, you're definitely going to have to put a parametric filter in there and adjust the Q as you're bringing it down. You don't need to do away with it. You just need to bring it down. Now, depending on how harsh you get with it or how intense you need to be, you may need to mimic that over to the other side, meaning whatever you're bringing down, it may not even come into play with that, though. So it's just going to depend. You're going to have to play it with the doors closed. Metra does have certain interfaces for non-amplified systems that do go in and control that for you. So when have the DSP all together, because they can talk to the CAN bus and turn it down, or the bus, we'll just call it the bus. I don't know which one they're using, but most bus or whatever. But some of the high level to not high level, some of the non-amplified, they're basically high level to low level adapters, but they still talk to the bus and do things like control the chime. Metra makes. And they're not overly complicated pieces, so it's like people whatever. It's not like it's doing anything spectacular, and it does come with DSP. So you might want to check out Metra online also and see what they have, because some of those will control the chime, and that's the easiest way to do it for sure. But some of the more basic DSPs you're going to run into a problem with, because it's like if it's like a 15-band parametric EQ, then you're going to be like, oh, this sucks. But find the center frequency with an RTA. So you're going to need an electrical RTA to figure out what the frequency is, and then you're going to pull it down. And then if it's single tone, you're going to do a really narrow Q, because it's just one tone. You're just reducing it. If it's a chime, you may need to build a little EQ section there with a couple different frequencies, but you need parametric so that you can either make a wide Q, narrow Q, and pick a certain frequency. Most parametric cues allow you to type the numbers in that you're trying to do, but you have to have an electrical RTA in order to do it, because you have to be able to see it. The videos for the IRTA, if you're like, I have no idea what he's talking about, we show you in the videos for the IRTA how to see what you're looking for with an electrical RTA. So that is a video, how to find your door chime. But yeah, sounds really exciting.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on, before you do anything, I just have to drop this one in. Hey guys, how's Atlantic City? For anyone that lives in Atlantic City or around Atlantic City, please don't take this personally. However, civic pride is not a big deal where you guys are from, apparently. The area reminded me of, we've all been to a concert or a sporting event, and when the lights come on and everybody leaves and they just drop all their stuff on the floor and walk out the door because they're like, I'm not picking this up. That's basically the city in a whole. It's one of the dirtiest places, just non-caring people I've ever seen. I can't wait to go back. I just don't know why anyone would want to go there. So, but we had a fun time. Knowledge Fest was off the chain. It was fantastic. We loved it. Just weird. Is that right? Yeah, but sorry, didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but yeah. Okay. Next.
Go back?
Yeah, you can do whatever you like. Hey, I can't wait. We're going back for sure. For a three-way active system, what do you think of using a wide band driver for the mid? So it's not like it won't work. A dedicated mid might be better. They're just tuned differently. Like a wide band is tuned to play higher frequencies, whereas a mid, it just depends on how low the high band plays. some of the high bands don't play as low as like a mid. So I mean, if the acoustical, which is what you want to see the acoustical output. If it still looks good down in the 350, 350 range, 400 range, yeah, go for it, because you're just going to shave the top anyways. But if it's topping off much higher, then it's not going to work out so well, because it's just the speaker can't reproduce the sound. It has a natural roll off in it. So you really just have to look at what its low frequency response is and how well it will play and at what volume. So, because it has to meet up with your mid bass. And if you don't have if the two don't marry together well, then you're going to have a problem. And that's what happens. Like when you don't keep speakers that are designed to work together, it's just, you're going to need a lot of work.
I like this one. That's pretty cool.
Square subwoofers make square waves, right?
Yes.
Yes. How did you know? That is fantastical. Hand wipes. Oh no, we always travel hand wipes and sanitizer. Mm-hmm. I washed my hands a whole bunch this weekend. It was ridiculous. Running RCAs, it was so much so that my hands were constantly wrinkly. It was really weird. You know how when you get your hands wet and they wrinkle? Yeah, mine were always wrinkled. It was very strange. Running RCAs from Audio Control Epicenter uses Stinger 4000 amp. Does the source end go to the epicenter? Yes, it does, because that would be the source of sound to feed the amplifier. So what he's talking about is Stinger RCAs will typically have a directional arrow on them pointing from source back to unit. Now, it's not because they use magical copper that it has to be directional. It's because they put a drain noise wire in their RCAs, and it's connected at one end and not connected at the other. That's why it's directional. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's just the noise drain wire that's in it. So the sticker that says source, or the arrow that points that way, is the signal direction. In this case, the epicenter or the DSP or whatever it is your source unit. Now, there's a source feeding that, which, of course, like the radio, so the sticker would be there and you go to here. And then this is the source that's feeding the amplifier. So the whole idea is that you keep the noise away from the end piece. So any noise that could possibly come up from the end epicenter then won't go into the amplifier. Spectacular. What are you doing? What do you need?
No, I just want to see if it's up to.
Yeah, it's up to it. Oh no, yep, there it is. Yeah, it's all good. I'm gonna pull up the next one. Let's do this. Moscone. You got to hear the Herman's car, the BMW with the Atmos in it.
Yes.
Emotiva. Yes. For those of you guys that were wondering what Atmos processor he was using in there, because we never talked about it in the video, because we couldn't. He's using an Emotiva processor. It's an Atmos processor that he severely modified in order to get into his vehicle. So he has an Apple TV going into Emotiva. Emotiva is going out to the DSP amplifiers. And if you don't know what we're talking about, if you're just like, what? Well, then you need to go over to the YouTube channel right here and watch the BMW with Atmos. It's a full Atmos system using all new Gladen speakers as well as Moscone amplifiers.
Yep.
So, and it's using all the 1 series amplifiers. It's pretty awesome. There's 4 DSP amps in it, I believe. Yeah. There's like 22 active speakers. It's like a 714 or something like that, as far as you Atmos guys out there. It was pretty incredible. We had it out at Atlantic City this weekend, and people were just like, holy crap.
It was like, what, 22 speakers, 21 speakers?
22, I think, with the subs, because there's 2 subs, even though it's 1. It's mono. But either way, if you're interested, head over to Moscone-America.com, check out their awesome line of products, or head over to Gladen.com if you want to see everything.
It sounds really cool.
But yes, really definitely watch the video on that for sure. And of course, we love these guys. So, Fernando? Fernandez is like, Fernando, what are you going to install in the new vehicle? We'll talk about that next.
Yeah.
Dean and Fernando, I would like to know, on a 2013 Chevy Tahoe, with moving the stock tweeter location from the sail panel to the door mirror location, which sound better? That's going to be a personal thing. For me, no. I like it up. I like it as far forward as I can get it. I think it sounds better that way. I don't know. Every time we do a car where the tweeters are moved in, it just to me, you feel the same.
So
it just feels like it's.
So right now they're here.
Yeah, it's a Tahoe, so they're up on the
And then you're gonna move it here.
Wants to move the sail panels. Wants to move them 6 inches. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. I wouldn't go through the work. I'd keep them where they're at, but I think they sound good there. But the easiest thing to do is if you just want to try it, double-sided tape is your friend, man. Just double-sided tape them on there, see if it works for you. If it does, well, then you know what you need to do. But yeah, I mean, you just easily pull them out, double-sided tape right on there. Don't cut anything. Turn them on and be like, oh, that doesn't work, or oh my gosh, that makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Scion TC, a great car to buy audio for. Yeah.
Scion TC is great.
That was the one with the three-way set. Yeah, I know, right?
533-way that you can put.
Yeah, I was, yes, because we were like, dude, we should buy one of these and put it in the showroom. That would be fantastic. Yeah. 2016 Accord EXL, 7 speakers, no center channel, Haley special, absolutely tired of screen freezing. Which Kenwood would maybe even floating design. Okay, I don't. Okay. Basically wants to get rid of the Honda. All right, so Kenwood makes, in my mind, 2 lines of radios. They make the 9 series, which is like a 908, a 958, there's another one too. And they make the 10 series, which are the big floating screens. Those are it. That's all they make. So if you want a Kenwood, pick from one of those 5 radios and you're rocking and rolling. They have the better screen, especially in a Honda, because the screen is going to be kind of jacked and look weird. So, yeah, go for that.
There you go. Talking about Mike.
Hey, Dean, love the video with Mike, Chrysler 300C. The lights on the inside along the pillars were awesome. Who are they made by? Can lights like that go work where the 6.5 stars? Okay, so there's a whole segment on the lighting that he talked about. That's their line of lighting that they bring in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you're interested in those lights, reach out to Mike and he can hook you up with them. They sell those in-house. That's a Paragon product that they bring in. Wayne brings those in. So if you liked those, reach out to Mike and he will gladly. I had to shave the video. It would have been an hour or 2 long just because we spent that much time talking about the lighting. I could probably go back and re-edit it just to talk about the lighting. Yeah. And it'd just be a lighting video. Because Mike, when he gets talking, he don't stop. So
I'm just wondering who it looks like.
No, I say 5 words in the whole video because he doesn't. Oh, dude, I'll let you hear it. It was great. Anyways, so before we go on to this question, Fernandez asked you about what you're going to do in your car.
Yes.
One of the cool things that you got the chance to do while we were in Atlantic City is talk to Chris Bueller from Sony.
Yes.
And the question that came up with him was because you want to do the 9500, ES 9500. Yep. And we wanted to put the GS9 below it.
Yep.
And what did he say to you?
He said, don't do it. It's pointless. The new 9500 has a better technology than the GS9. And yes, they came out with the GS9 saying that was the best radio in the planet for sound quality.
But that was also 8 years ago.
But that was 8 years ago. That's the reason why they decided to move it out and just keep the 9500. It has a better technology, better DAC. So I guess we're going to go with the 9500 for now. And then we're going to think about speakers because some want to go crazy and you're like, yeah.
I'm not saying you, no.
No,
I wanted to do
the things that we talk about.
But I still want to do just like the Gladen tweeter or the Focal tweeter. I don't really care.
I want to do the pros.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I think the Pro's got a small 2.5-inch mid-range that would fit where I wanted to put it. But you're like, I want to go.
I want to put a 12-inch right here in the corner. Yeah, no, not exactly. But yes. So we'll see. First, there's going to be the radio.
Audio Frog UMI1 kits are back in stock.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
For the people that are looking for the...
It's worth the $200 for the best CD ever.
UM1. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So...
Hey, I found that putting an aftermarket amp DSP with DSP on the factory Sony speakers is actually a much better upgrade than changing the speakers. 100%. 100%.
Depends.
No. In this particular, Sony. So what he's saying is he has a. Yeah. Somebody earlier was asking about replacing the speakers, and I said you really don't want to do that. Most of the time, it's not the speakers.
Yep.
Like we know this, like Toyota. It's not the JBL speakers.
Yeah.
It's the crappy JBL amp and radio and how they're tuned.
Yeah.
Just doesn't sound that good.
Yeah.
You can buy the pack Sony interface for this, or in this case, I would just go iData Blackbird, plug it right in, and use the 8-channel Blackbird to repower the Sony.
Yeah.
You can always get new speakers later,
100%.
but that money makes way more sense than trying to take
start from that part.
You know, instead of replacing the speakers, because the speakers aren't the problem unless they're old and blown. You can't, but that you can't get away. You know, there's no reason. Oh, I can't help that. There we go. There. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up this one. How difficult would it be to make my 23 F-150 a 3-way setup non-BO? Sorry. So the BO system, the 3-way BO system, it has a piece that goes across the front, the whole front piece, and I think that's it. I don't think the dash is different. We haven't had so. What you could do is pull your A-pillars off, and then you're going to have that same plastic front piece that goes. It's between the glass. It's where the glass meets the front of the dash. On the BO system, it's a different piece. If you popped yours up, the holes might be there, but they're still too small. We have to router them out every time. But it should be two screw provisions in a small hole because they use this really tiny neo-magnet to go there. If that's the case, the only thing you'd have to do is buy the new top piece of the dash for the BO. And you'd be able to do a 3-way set. The other option, of course, is if you don't want to screw with any of that crap at all, is just give Sage at Sounds Good Stereo a call, and he'll make you brand new A-pillars for that vehicle where you can put a 3-way set in it. That's what they do. Even on the new BO systems, they're typically still making new A-pillars and not putting the speaker up in the top of the dash because they're mail order. And there's almost no speakers that drop into that without modifying the back side of it. So you got to get in there with an air grinder and do all kinds of scary crap that a lot of people don't want to do. So contact the guys at Sounds Good Stereo, and they'll sell you a brand new A-pillar with a 3-way.
Yeah,
you're all set.
Great.
Life is wonderful. I know. Is there an up-and-coming interface coming out soon for the 24 GMC Denali 12-speaker Bose, or the Access, the only device available? Nav TV seems to not be available for a while. So Nav TV is actually going to be wrapping up business here in the U.S. on that stuff in September, and there's no more. They're not coming out with any new products. I will tell you this: the Access piece is solid. We had the pleasure of talking with them again this past weekend. Talking with our partners there, because we work with them a lot and help them come out with new products and whatnot. And, we knew there was an issue with the first piece. They came up with a solution for it that I can tell you other manufacturers that are coming out with their piece soon are going to be doing the same thing. However, the one thing that actually was one of the best conversations I had this weekend was them telling me how they actually figured out what the problem was originally. And it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But they were able to. So what would happen with the piece is like a perfect storm. But the audio would cut out after you hopped out of the car and went into like get a coffee or whatever it was. And you left the car running or whatever you did, and you'd come back in, the audio would be off, and you'd have to unplug it, replug it. So the first solution was to just have it reset. So if it detects no audio after a certain period of time, 10 seconds, it would automatically reboot. The audio would come back on. Problem solved. Everyone's happy. So. And it sounds amazing. They actually were trying to diagnose it and figure out what it was, and they tried 100 different things. And 101 thing, which was a pure accident, they were able to figure out what it was and replicate it. And once they told me what it was, which I'm not going to share with you, I was like, that makes 100% sense, because what people were doing would be why this would happen. So no, if you're trying to integrate into any GMC, if Metra makes the module for it, buy it. It's badass and it sounds fantastic. There's no reason not to. I 100% endorse this piece. I don't know all the political things you're supposed to do, and those guys. Anyways, get it. I bought the Sony 163ES 3-ways, and it says each crossover has high pass, low pass, and band pass outputs with 1K to 7.5K crossover points. Does that mean the mid-range plays from 1,000 to 750?
From 1K to 7K.
That's no, because that's not low enough for that mid-range to play. That mid-range should play a lot lower. So that's kind of weird. I will say this. The ES speakers are kind of I'd have to get with them on that, because I know like on the two-way set, the crossover that it comes with is really just a tweeter crossover, and the 6.5 is using natural crossover points. I mean, it's just designed to where it naturally rolls off, I believe. So the mid-range may be doing something along those lines. I don't know. I haven't stared at their crossover enough, so I'm not going to really answer this and give you misinformation. That sounds weird though. If we have them over there, I'll try to remember to go grab a pair and maybe read the box and figure out what the heck they're talking about. That is kind of strange, but it should have a high pass, low pass, and band pass, because and a lot of the times will be overlapping points. So if the tweeter plays down to 3,500, then the mid-range tops off at 3,500, and then whatever the mid-bass plays up to, the mid-range would top off at. So the mid-range should play up to, I don't know, 250, 300, 400, somewhere in that range. And so that's where the mid-range should roll off. So, and that would be the band pass. And the mid, yeah, so that would be, I'll see if I can grab a pair and take a look at them. Hi, Gary Summers, SQ competition, car surround sound system for sale. He has the sound mixer for Star Wars drives.
You want to buy it?
No.
No?
No, I don't want to own. I would hate to own a SQ car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that would be any fun. It's a long day, guys. Which mic does one use with the Studio 6 digital software? I was using Apple iOS. I test mic 2 over Lightning. They do make the new U-Test mic or the Dayton USB-C mic. Both of them, they're both USB mics. So Dayton seems to work really well too. But Studio 6 also has their new U-Test mic, which is the universal mic that has just USB. You can go to C or you can go to micro. But yeah, I own a 2021 Camaro with the Bose system. I'm not crazy about it. I listen to a variety of genres, looking into Focal JL audio, but have heard good things about Morel, Audio Frog, etc. Any suggestions? So they're all great speakers. They're all going to be loud. The difference between, let's say, like a Focal and, let's say, Morel Audio Frog is the Morel Audio Frog use big soft dome tweeters, whereas the others, JL has hard dome tweeters. Not all sets have hard dome tweeters, so it just depends what series you go with. But all the Focals have hard dome tweeters, and that's where that sets the two apart. Okay, a hard dome tweeter is really good at like broken glass, like it just. And you don't listen to broken glass, but I'm trying to give you an idea of how, like, it can reproduce every one of those things. Not that the soft dome can't, but it's going to be a little softer. It's not going to be as like crystal clear defined. So if you're a tweeter guy, then you're going to like the Focal or the JL if it comes with a hard dome. If you like things a little bit not so, a little smoother, a little bit natural sounding, then Morel and Audio Frog would be the way to go. Loudness is the same. They're all loud. The other thing, too, is look at what you have for home audio. Now, if you don't have anything for home audio, obviously nothing. But if you have a home audio system, check out what kind of tweeters it has and see if you like those. Some homes are soft, some homes are hard, and that'll be the difference between them. You'll be like, oh, when I'm listening to music at home, it sounds like this. Well, buy the same for your car if you like it. If you don't, if you're like, no, it sounds harsh, I don't like that, well, then buy the opposite.
That's funny.
What?
Oh, the train horns. So, funny thing, I was watching Ricardo, one of those videos that he does.
Yeah.
And he was explaining something that he was going to do. And then the train horn guy, he's worm, and he's like, and he lived it in the video like that.
Yeah.
I was funny. I was like,
yeah, I was, awesome. Yeah. All right, let me hide this for a second. Hey guys, is that time for the next sponsor? Auto Control. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we had the pleasure of finally doing a Jeep. It was a 2024 Jeep where we put the new Audio Control Pacific Northwest C 3.5 in the 2-ohm version, which was like our baby. I mean, we begged them to build those. We finally got to put them in a brand new Jeep. It was fantastic. He had the Alpine system in it. He came in complaining about how soft it sounded, and there was no definition in the music because it has no tweeters. So we're like, hey, no problem. We don't need to break the bank here. We popped out those single cone, crappy factory Alpine speakers, and we dropped in the new Audio Control 3.5s with the tweeter, 2-ohm, and man, oh man, that thing came alive and sounded fantastic. If you have that story in your head and you're like, you're looking for that solution, head over to audiocontrol.com and check out their line of PNW speakers, and more specifically, the new 2-ohm 3.5. Or if you just have the need for a really loud 3.5 in the dash, check it out. It's 2 ohms. So that means you can't pair it up with another speaker. It has to have its own channel. But they're pretty awesome. Ah, dude, El Fernandez is the best. I don't care.
Thank you, man.
Wow. You bet, man. We will definitely try.
Yes.
We will at some point. We still have the Chinese or the sushi place.
Yeah, we do.
Tijuana Flats left. So bummed. Like every now and then you just need a Tijuana Tuesday.
Thank you, buddy.
Off audio question. Where did you find your white digital wall clock? Timu. No. We found it at Amazon. Everything. Yeah, it was Amazon. Everything was Amazon. I will tell you this. If you're going to get one, make sure it has lighting control. Like you could, you're so funny.
Ah, man.
Make sure it has level control. Because I can tell you this one is at like a quarter intensity.
Yeah.
And like when we first got it, we were trying to figure it out. And holy Jesus, it would blind us. And like right now, it's not like the perfect to where we can see it anywhere in the store if we look over. But yeah, it's like the lights of God. It's like God's eyeballs just looking at you going, I am the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amazon. It was like $50, I think. It's best $50. It's not, but it was a lot of fun $50 that we spent. So
okay.
I'm guessing he's asking somebody else. Okay.
Okay.
This one here. Is this okay?
Yeah. Just
okay.
I already have it.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Hi guys. What usually causes a tweeter to start cutting out? I specifically have Wet Sound CX10S's, a 10-inch marine coaxial tweeter. The tweeter cuts out at high volumes. Thanks for the live stream. Okay, so if it's part of a coaxial system or in a tubby or something like that, sometimes the manufacturers will put little tiny breakers in them that once it heats up, it shuts off. Now, how does it heat up? You're putting too much sound to it. So, and what I mean by that is you could be having a perfect amount of sound, but the amplifier you're using might be sending some DC to it, meaning it could be clipping, and it could be outside of the range that, like, it could be doing a high frequency clip. It might just not be apt to do that. So that little piece in the crossover gets hot and it opens up, and then when it cools down, it'll turn back on. Now, if it's just like, no, that's not that. That could be you've already taken the tweeter out and you have a burnt spot in the voice coil. What's happening is that the back speaker is creating enough energy to make it move around, and it's jumping outside of the burnt spot. And once that electromagnet starts working again, the tweeter comes on and off and does strange things. But yeah, that's kind of what could be causing it, is the passive crossover.
All right. This is why I don't use it anymore.
What? Use the wire ruler, Nano. I used a wire ruler. I had my cast. It seemed to work best. It did work best until he broke the freaking thing in half. And it just kind of looked at me and goes, oops. I'm like, I would cut you an acrylic scraper, dude. We have pieces of...
Well, there's going to be the same thing.
No, there wouldn't. The ruler...
Well, this one is metal.
Yeah, whatever works for you, bonehead. All right, hold on. Let me go to this one. All right, Troy says,
thank you for
Sony ES, if you use the passive code, should run... All right, hold on. Sony ES, if I use the passive crossover, should I run JL tweak DSP with just 80 hertz high pass on the woofer? I have a 4-channel tweeter mid on own woofer. Okay.
So the tweet and the mid on their own. Huh?
All right. So if we have the tweeter and the mid on this, and we have the
woofer
on that, if you're keeping using the passive crossover on the tweet, okay. So no is the easiest answer. You need a bandpass crossover for the 6.5, meaning you need something to limit how low to play, 80 hertz. You need something to stop how high it'll play. There again, I'm not super familiar with the ES, but every other speaker we've ever put in a car, the roll-off point is way too high for a mid-range, so you need to tune it back. So you'd have to figure out where the bottom of the smaller speaker is, the 3.5. So if the 3.5 is playing down to 350, then your 6.5 needs to be crossed over at 350 also, or 340, or somewhere in that range. So you have to have a cage, a top and a bottom on every speaker. If you're using the passive crossovers for all of the speakers, then no, you would just need an 80 hertz high pass on that to limit how low it is going to play. And then the passive crossover would take care of every other frequency. The other thing you have to worry about too is if you're using the passive crossover for the tweeter and the 3.5, if it's not a biampable passive crossover, meaning it doesn't have an input for mid-range and an output for mid-range, input for, or mid bass. Like if it's made to power all 3 speakers, sometimes not having that ohm load from the mid range on there changes the crossover points for the speakers upstream from it. So you would have to kind of do like a little bit of testing with a voltometer and figure out like what it's doing. There again, it also depends on whether it's a pass through, meaning like it just has wires in, wires out. Like that's what they do with the tweeter crossover on that particular set, is the mid-range has an input, but there's no crossover for it. It doesn't do anything. It's just a pass-through for the mid-range. I don't know why they did that. It seems kind of not the best, but whatever. I hope that made some sense. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably all kinds of stuff in that cast. Lots of bugs.
Bugs yes, a lot. It's so bad.
I mean, just from last weekend alone. I mean, hey guys, I got. Okay. We got a Forza 12.14.
Nice.
1214.
Very nice.
With the Prima 3-ways.
Very cool. And coaxials in the rears. One more volume. Should I add the D4 and the Hertz Mini Pro 3-ways up front for a 2012 Tundra?
You got 12 channels. Why not just bridge some? You can bridge that amp. Well, I mean, it's 12 channels. 6, 4, that's 8. You have like a bunch of channels.
You have a 3-way Prima.
Yeah.
With the Prima 3-way and coaxials in the rear. He wants to add more volume. Should I add the?
No, I mean, keep in mind that amplifier is not a huge amplifier, so I'd be bridging some channels.
Like what kind of Primas do you have?
Well, he has the Primas, the Prima 3-way. They only make one 3-way. Yeah, they do make a 2. They do make a 2-ohm mid range in the Prima line if you're like stuck on channels and you don't have any more channels. Yeah. But as far as swapping out the Primas for the Hertz, probably not going to be. I mean, there again, if you want to do it, do it. I'm not going to tell you not to, but I don't think you're going to get the results that you're worth spending that amount of money on. I would probably spend the money on advancing my channel count, maybe going with some more power to the speakers that you have.
So forget about the rears? No, I mean,
no, you got 12 channels. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
why can't we bridge some channels?
For sure.
Not only that, you have the 14-channel DSP. I mean, we can always get the companion amplifier, the 4-channel companion amplifier, make it a 2-channel, put it on the mid bass, maybe bridge some of the other smaller channels to put on the mid and tweeter. I mean, you can get more power to these speakers than what that's going to give you. So I would just more power. Power is key.
Oh, just
I have doors. He says I have doors bridged, and there again, I don't know the power constraints on that, but you may need more power still. So like if They do make the companion amps for that, which are designed to do that, give you more power. And I get it. The whole reason buying the 12 channels, so I don't have to. But I don't know how much it has off the top of my head. Because you still might not get. I mean, if it's giving you 120 watts, then yeah, that's pretty solid. But I think some of those the Prima speakers handle like 250 watts. So, but they do make a bigger mid bass in the Prima line also.
8-inch.
They do make an 8-inch that you could probably fit. Ooh, they make an 8-inch that you can fit in that Toyota door also. Ooh, that might be a good move. Let's go from the 6.5 to the 8-inch. That'd give you some more sound. Mary Lou's in the house.
Oh, finally.
Got to see her last weekend. We all went out to dinner. We had a good time. And then she's like, I'm going to go to New York. I was like,
You're crazy.
Totally, she's crazy. But she knows that. But hey, she's a free spirit doing free spirit stuff, man. She's just living her life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I like those.
The Primas? Yeah, they're cool. That's what I'm saying. You might want to swap it out for the 8-inch.
Yeah, but
like what? I mean, it'll handle a ton of power. I think it's a
12
channel. I think
maybe.
I think it's a 12 channel. You just got to see what kind of power the 12 channel is capable of actually putting out. The speakers, you can put a boatload of power to the speakers. It's not the speakers. You know, I think it's power. I mean,
that doesn't look like a 3.5. It looks like a 4.
Oh, it is. It is a 4. It's not a 3.5. Does it say it's a 3.5? No, it should be a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woofer.
Yeah, 32 millimeter. Yeah. Anyways. Oh my gosh. Hey. Good afternoon, guys. I still have my OEM sub in my rear deck and vibrates badly. Will Dynamat minimize it, or should I just cut the connection? 2008 M45. See, Miles? I knew I'd like Miles. He's got an M45. Oh, that's the car, bro.
An M45.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. If the woofer is not blown, all right, and it's just your rear deck is vibrating like a mofo, which it probably is, yeah, sound treat the crap out of it. Get some foam up in there and just do some work on it. Especially, I mean, obviously cutting it solves the issue. I mean, if you have a better sub in the trunk and there's no reason to deal with that, then yeah, get rid of it. But I would still sound treat the crap out of it because your trunk subwoofer would also be making it like so. It's a 2. Oh, so he's got the 2-inch. He's got the 3-way with the 2-inch. Yeah, so he has the 3-way with the little 2-inch, not the 4-inch. You're looking at the wrong set. Either way, I might suggest upgrading to the 8-inch and then getting more power.
It's a 2-inch. Yeah, it's a 2-inch, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the small ones, yeah.
Yeah.
They sound good.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that Axis believes to have resolved their earlier issue. Do you know if the fix is as simple as a software update to the existing unit, or one must purchase a new one? It's a software update. It's a data issue with the car.
Call them.
So, but yes, no, it should be a software update. So here's the problem. Okay. And there again, not a problem with them or anything like that. But the problem with all these interfaces, with the exception of iData, is that when you buy the interface and you're not trained to plug it in and update it, you might be. I'm not picking on you. I'm just merely saying this is the thing that aggravates the crap out of me, is that you buy a pack unit, you buy an access unit, and you plug them in. You don't plug them in. You just plug them into the car and hope they work. And then the first thing you do is bitch when it doesn't work. And then they'll go, well, did you try a software update? And you're like, no, I didn't try a software update. Why do I have to update it? I bought it specifically, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, to me, I always go to these guys and go, for the love of God, will you guys just send me boxes? And then I don't have anything on them and I have to update them. Think of all the tech support you'll have to walk away from. And for some reason, they just won't do it. And they have good reason. I just don't know what it is.
Well, then the people lose their jobs.
The tech support guys will lose their jobs when they can't say, well, have you tried to update it yet? But no, the reality is anytime you buy anybody's module, iData, you don't have to worry about it because the only way to get it to work is to flash it. But always flash the module. Now, if you have an older version of that, yes, there should be newer software. I don't know if it's available today. I don't know when they figured this out, but it probably is. So definitely flash your older unit to the newer software, and that should fix any issues that you currently have.
Okay.
I know, right? You guys previously mentioned it. Okay. You guys previously did my 2013 Camaro, and I had some JBL speakers The highs sometimes suddenly muddy when listening to something with brass or orchestral in the background. Thanks for your advice. It's totally possible. So you could be running out of energy. Okay, so resolution. What separates the men from the boys in speakers, amplifiers, and all that is its ability to handle extreme points, right? And in this case, the equipment might not do well with those specific frequencies that it's trying to play when playing those. Yeah, that was double talk. But anyways, my guess is that's what's going on. It's either an inefficiency with the amplifiers, who knows, or it's an inefficiency with the speaker. It's getting too hot too quick, and it's causing it to muddy up. So yeah, that's probably it. May need to just go into some different speakers. Some little bit higher end handle, a little bit more heat, a little power handling. I don't know. I'd have to figure out what other stuff we have in there as well, because it could just be an amplifier problem or a processor. I don't know what we put in.
Yeah.
Reach out to us and we'll figure it out. Hey guys, I saw you review the Sony GSX G9 head unit. Is it still the best unit you came for high-res audio in the vehicle? Actually, we were just talking about that because the RSX GSX9 was in Fernando's car forever, and he just got a new car. We're getting ready to do the new system in it, and we just talked to Sony this past weekend. We were at Knowledge Fest because our plan was to put a 9500 GS9, and Chris Beulah was like, "You guys are on crack. Don't bother to do that." The 9500 ES 9500, way better than the GS9. The GS9 was great for its time, and it had the most smoking technology that was available at the time. But fast forward the years that it's been since that's come out, and that's why they discontinued it, because the 9500 is a better piece, has better processors, better DA converters, better features, and all those other fun things, and they're telling us sounds better. So that's what we're going to be doing in his car, is the 9500, get the touchscreen and see what happens. They also make it in a 2-DIN screen version, if you don't like the floating screen, which is just, I think, the 9000. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we know.
That's what Sony tell us.
That's what they told us. So those guys, if they're wrong,
we're going to go and punch them in the face.
Dean is still waiting on the Alpine to finish their update. Yeah, no doubt, right? Jesus.
It's coming.
I said something to them about that, or they said something to me, and they said something back to me, and I just said, uh-huh.
So you got a crappy Wi-Fi.
I said, you bet, man. Uh-huh. Because they were,
It's funny.
I just smile and wave.
Yeah.
You bet.
I like Roy. Roy is cool.
They're all cool.
Yeah.
Does higher wattage just equal louder at high volumes, or more output earlier for dynamics as well? A little bit of both, right? So, for example, let's say you put 25 watts to your tweeters and put 50 watts to your mid-range. If they're gained match for the output of the two pieces, meaning we don't just put a DD1 in there and crank them up until the red lights come on and go like, yes. No. So we want more impact from the mid bass, so it's louder. It's a heavier speaker, so it needs more power to move than the tweeter. The tweeter is really only going to see about 1 watt. But now we've staggered them, and so we hear those tweeter frequencies much easier than we hear those mid-range frequencies. That's why staggered power is a better move, because we're going to get that slower, heavier speaker moving faster and louder, because this guy doesn't need any energy. It's, when you look at like the directionality of a tweeters, you hear it right away, whereas at mid-range you don't, so you need to give it more power and more oomph to get it to come out. If you run both speakers at the same everything, okay, you're going to hear the tweeter first, not the mid-range, because it can't keep up. It's not the frequencies they're playing, your ears aren't going to perceive the mid-range as quick as they are the tweeter. So we want to put more power to our mid-range. When we're DSPing a system, we now have volume control. That's why we go active. Active allows us to have volume control. So we're going to limit the performance of something, or the volume, so that we can hear the frequencies we want. So we're going to remove something to make something else louder. So if you say, I want more mid-bass, turn down the tweeters, right? Turn down the mid-range, turn those down, your mid-bass will be louder. If we just give them more power, then we don't have to turn the other ones down. They'll be equally as loud until they reach the threshold, in which case you can't get any louder than the threshold, which is the max amount of volume.
Nice. I look forward to that review. Yeah, we did that a long time ago. Now, if you just got that one,
no, he's talking about the 9500.
Yeah.
The GS9 is a fantastic unit. You're gonna love it. It's badass. There's nothing bad about it. It's not like it sucked because they came out with something. No, it's fantastic. Still flagship, badass single DIN radio.
Use the micro USB in the front for the best DAC. Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
It's fantastic.
It's great. I'll be happy for sure.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. That's
it. Oh, I got one for you.
Great explanations. I try.
The last one?
I have the DM907. Is there a number that you found routinely that
they
distort 0 to 30 on volume when setting gains? I don't have a scope. So on that unit, 907, you can play all the way up to 40 before it distorts, and you can play all the way up to +3 on the subwoofer before it will clip at max volume. So if you have it turned all the way up to 40 and you're like doing the subwoofer output, if you have it at 3 is that's it. That's as loud as that thing will go. Anything past that is, well, there's no more volume. The nice thing about Kenwood's, when you get into something like a 9 series, it's clean all the way out. It's one of the only manufacturers to do that. They just make the distortion for it far away from where the volume ends, so you don't run into those problems. So keep in mind, the EQ has to be flat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to work. I'm just throwing that up there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's Father's Day, guys. Go and buy yourself an IRTA too, so you can see the electrical signal from your car. Even if you're not going to put in there, you just got to see it. Go buy a 2-channel electrical RTA DNF tool drawer. That's where you find it.
I'd like to thank all our sponsors tonight. So Arc Audio Control, as well as Moscone, Gladen, and of course Focal. So if you guys are interested in any of those brands, please head over to their corresponding sites or just drop them a little note on Facebook or Instagram. Give them some love and tell them, hey, you heard about them here, because that helps us, of course. And we like anything we can do for you. We'll do for what, I don't know. I'm tired, guys.
Really?
I just said a bunch of gibberish. That was total gibberish.
Whatever you need, I'm gonna do it for you.
We're here for you, bro.
So nice.
Got you. Next time, bro. You guys have a fantastic weekend. If you're celebrating Father's Day, I hope you have an amazing Father's Day. I hope those little hellions are nice to you, because it's always nice. Don't you hate it when the kids ruin the day? I mean, they're just. I mean, nice if they just left you alone,
dude.
But
I just so opposed that somebody says, I went to the movie. We went to the movies to see, one of those new movies.
Yeah.
I ended up paying everything, and we watched a different movie for Father's Day.
Yep.
That's fantastic. So
you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Fade to black.